I think 2 weeks ago, I dropped my baby off in college, and it was wonderful. It was a wonderful experience. It was a wonderful moment, but it was also a hard moment for so many reasons. Because he's sort of left the nest and left the coop, and he's living on his own, being his own person and being his own man now. And I'm so excited for him and his next chapter and his next journey in his life. But it's also bittersweet for me because he's away from me. He's living at home for the first time. There's so many emotions, like, moving here. I remember, like, walking into the his room and putting his stuff away and organizing and all that, and I'm just like, wow, like, I'm here. I remember when I was moving, when my mom was helping me move into my
Yeah.
dorm room, and now I'm sort of doing the same thing for my son. And I thought about her, and we've always talked about those moments in his life and how she was so excited and couldn't wait, not having her here to sort of experience it, in
Hmm.
person. I know she's with us and all that in spirit, but I didn't cry too much. I only cried once, which was good for me because I thought it was going to be like an emotional mess. I just try to focus on, like, the work of just moving him in, making sure he's good, make sure he has enough snacks and his little cold medicine kit and all of the things that he needs, and focus on that versus just like all of the emotional stuff. And I think all of the emotional stuff sort of like hit me later on. But yeah, it was cool.
What kind of advice did you give him?
That's a
Like
great
certain things,
question.
like you were like, here's what you want to do in college, here's what you don't want to do. Because really looking back, like those years in college do put us on a certain path.
Yeah, I told him to find his tribe. I told him to find his tribe. We sort of talked about how he couldn't fit in high school, and not fit in like a bad way or anything, just fit in, and like he couldn't find people who had the same mindset and thought like he did. He's a very, very smart kid. And I'm not just saying that because I'm his mom. He is really smart. He had a hard time with making friends who were sort of in the headspace of, school is very important to me. I'm very smart at STEM, and he couldn't really seem to connect with his friends in that way. He did have some friends that he met through sports. So I think that was also helpful. But then when he stopped playing his sports, it was just very hard for him. So I told him this is an opportunity for him to go to college and find people who are like-minded, and could relate to him and could challenge him and could, open his experiences to different things than what he was used to. And that's what I tried to do with him ever since he was a kid, to sort of open his eyes in a lot of things. Like, I traveled with him a lot when he was younger, just to open his eyes and his perspective to the world. Like, your little community is not what's out there. There's a whole world out there, and you can experience it and be a part of it. And also, the other thing I told him was to learn and do everything. Don't limit yourself to just one thing. Join different clubs, go to different events, go to different parties, have fun, because you are only having this experience once in your life, and it can be hard and it can be challenging, but it can also be fun, and it is what you make of it. College is what you make of it. And so don't be afraid to try different things and work hard. You don't have mommy and daddy there anymore. You don't have somebody waking you up at 7 o'clock. You don't
Yeah.
have an alarm clock. You don't have anyone saying, you got to get to class. You got to do this. Like, all of that is on his own. And we talked yesterday. And he said, Mom, you're so right. It's so different because I'm now responsible for my own schedule. I'm responsible for getting myself up in the morning. And now he has a job. He has a part-time job, and he's working for the first time. And he's like, I got to get myself to work. I got to get myself to class. I got to figure out my own study situation. And I'm like, yeah, that's what growing up is. But you learn, and it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to feel like you don't have it together all the time. But just do your best, you work hard, and that's all I can ask for as your mom.